Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. Welcome to this week's Raw review. I've got a few shout outs to do first of all. So Stimpy, Murad Ali, Grandma Does Stuff, HD Gaming, Rossi Boy 123, Charlie F, Ultimate Potato Nerd, A Plus Wrestling, Assassin's Creed Boss, and JJ Plays. All of you guys, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for the support. I know a lot of you there very active in the comments, and it's really appreciated. And it's really appreciated of all of you guys. You know, it's brilliant to see the channel continuing to grow and go places that I never thought that it would. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Raw. I'm trying to do like the Raw reviews in a slightly different format than before, because kind of sitting here and going through every single match, there's so much that I'm not kind of enjoying about the product at the moment that it turns into a moan, and I don't want it to be a moan. I want it to be positive, and there are positives in this week's Raw. In truth, this week's Raw wasn't brilliant. It was a long way from brilliant, actually. If I was going to score it, I'd give it a 4 or a 5 out of 10. I thought that the opening was really strong, and I thought the end was really strong. The actual show itself, I thought, was very weak indeed. But let's go through my concerns, right? Because I've got a few concerns, and then we'll move on to the more positive stuff. So, too many squash matches. Not only that, just matches that just aren't important. Nia Jax against Alicia Fox. Now, I'm fine with this as a match, but it was a squash, and I suppose in a way it needed to be a squash. But it didn't do anything to highlight Alicia Fox. There was a great moment, right, and I will give it kudos, where I think she has Alicia Fox by the hair, and she's literally hurling Alicia Fox into the barricade, like swinging her around by the hair. It's a brilliant moment. Absolutely brilliant, because I think they said on commentary we've not seen anything like this before, and I can't remember seeing anything like this before either. Literally swinging her around like that, and then she goes and hurls her into the barricade. Now, I think there was a holy shit chant, but it didn't really warrant it, because there wasn't anything holding really that barricade up. It was a bit of like, I don't know, padding that didn't appear to have any kind of a backing behind it, and she threw her through it. That is not a holy shit moment. That struggles to even be a moment. Bo Dallas against Brandon Scott. Another one of those stupid little rhymes that he does at the start that's not clever or thought-provoking, or it's like a 5-year-old has written it. Really not into the Bo Dallas character, never have been. And I think this is the worst version of it. Enzo against Epico. They're not singles wrestlers. And also, my other moan, Jinder Mahal against Jack Swagger. This is Raw. This is Monday Night Raw. This is not main event. This is not Superstars. You can't bury people and someone like Jack Swagger for 2 years and then just put him out there in a match against Jinder Mahal, who used to be in 3-man band. You know, it's not. This isn't Raw quality. This shouldn't have been a segment. There could have been something more interesting than this. A second moan. Enzo Amore, what are you going on about? It was awful. You could tell that. I mean, the crowd were even doing what chants. They still get a great pop when they come out, but they are losing their way because Enzo has one job to do. It doesn't matter that he's so-so in the ring. He's got one job to do, and that is knock it out of the park on the mic. And he's struggling. He's struggling. He just can't. He can't come up with good content every single week. I really like Enzo, and I really like Big Cass, and I'm into those guys, and I still get excited when their music hits. And I don't want to be a hater. I'm not trying to be a hater, but he's got to improve. He has got to improve. This is the big leagues. You can't get away with this so-so mic work. And for one of the best talkers in the game, he has knocked it out of the park sometimes. You know, I remember in particular when he was in the ring with John Cena, and they teamed up. Can't remember what was it, Payback or something like that. And yeah, you know, he was doing some fantastic stuff. But then past few weeks on Raw, he's been awful. And then just the predictability of the show, you know, they're making up matches and throwing in curves for the sake of filling airtime. You know, Bayley just got involved in a triple threat. Dana got involved in a triple threat just so they could fill time. Because what's the end result? Sasha wins. So nothing changes. Look at the main event. We knew weeks ago. I knew last week, if not before, that Rusev was going to get involved with Roman Reigns. And lo and behold, he gets involved and he costs him the match. And so now the Clash of Champions main event hasn't changed. And you knew all throughout that match Rusev was going to come out and interfere. Too predictable. As well as that, you've got Cesaro beating Sheamus. Sheamus goes 3-0 up, and now Cesaro is 3-2. He'll get to 3-3, and then they'll have the decider. Predictable. You know, you can't have these squash matches and these matches that really don't matter. It doesn't matter if Jack Swagger won or if Jinder Mahal won. No one cares. You can't have that, and then on top of that, your good matches put in predictable results. That is where you get your so-so shows from. But there were positives as well. Owens, Seth and Mick Foley, that dynamic, and it was shown all throughout, you know, Seth coming out in the main event. I think that's a really interesting dynamic. I'm interested to see where that's going. I want to know what Foley's going to do to Seth. You know, they said that there'd be serious consequences if Seth got involved in that main event. He did. So what's going to happen? He's going to get removed from the main event? Is someone else going to take that spot? That's really what should happen. I don't know who they could put in that spot. Maybe Braun Strowman or something like that. That'd be interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see. But so I'm into that. Jericho is having one of the best years. You know, backstage segments, in-ring stuff. He is just knocking it out of the park. You know, he's a great performer in the ring. We're going to get him against Sami Zayn at Clash of Champions. It's a dynamic I'm really interested in. Sami Zayn saying you used to be a 6-time champion and now you're just Kevin Owens' bitch. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So I was really into that. New Day coming out and admitting how awful that skit was last week with the Old Day. Thank God. Thank God. You know, they kind of needed to do that because they're losing a bit of steam. You know, they are entertainment and they need to be entertaining. And same with Enzo. You know, Enzo's a talker, an entertaining talker, but every promo that he does that doesn't reach that, you know, high standard goes against him. And the same with the New Day. They're a comedy act, they're an entertainment act. They're meant to come out and entertain the crowd. Well, every time they're in a skit like that one last week that falls flat, that takes a little bit of heat away from them, you know. And I just think that it was a good move on their part, coming out saying, yeah, that was awful. You won't see that again. They were making fun of it, and it was brilliant. And I was into it. The women's match, really enjoyed it. You know, I mean, any time that you see Bayley and Sasha in a ring at the same time, you know it's going to be good. And this was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. And I think there's a point that a lot of people are missing, and that is the end. If you watch, both shoulders were down for both competitors, Sasha and Bayley. There's controversy here, I'm telling you. Sasha picks up the win, but Bayley can next week come back, show Mick that footage, and I'm just wondering if this is going to lead to a triple threat. I thought the Dana dynamic was okay. I really want them to do, you know, $1 Million Man and Virgil. $1 Million Man used to abuse Virgil, and then finally Virgil, you know, snapped, got a match. It was a big SummerSlam moment, and I really want that to happen. I want Charlotte to be vicious to Dana and Dana to just have to take it. What I want from Dana is Dana to stop being a heel. I don't want Dana going out saying I'm going to show Charlotte that I'm good like she did last week with Sasha, because that then paints Dana as a heel and someone that we're not meant to get behind. I want Dana to be a really nice person and to keep getting put down by Charlotte, because then that's a future feud for you. That's a big match in the future. You know, Dana finally snaps and gets a shot at the Women's Championship, a shot at Charlotte, And I think that if they book it right, people would really get behind Dana Brooke. And she's got a good look. You know, she reminds me of like a Beth Phoenix kind of character. And yeah, I just think that they're not booking that bit right. But there was enough going on in the women's match to make it interesting, even if Sasha winning was predictable. And then the main event was good. It was solid. It was, you know, Kevin Owens, fantastic. Roman just doing normal Roman stuff, but he's been putting on better matches. His matches have improved a lot this year, and I enjoyed this. It was back and forth. There was a lot of moments. I just didn't like the interference, and we had 2 separate bouts of interference, Seth Rollins and Rusev. It did take away from it, but the match itself was fine. And as I said, this Raw was pretty poor, but the start and the end were solid. And there was a few bits throughout. If you haven't seen it, don't bother. You haven't missed anything. But I think there's enough going on Raw to keep me interested, keep me entertained. And not only that, we've got the Cruiserweight division coming soon. And I really think that's going to bring some, you know, it's going to revitalise it. It's going to bring a bit of freshness to a show that's already starting to feel stale. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments below. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I really would appreciate that. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now, guys.